You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast. And this is show number 593 for Sunday, the 26th of April, 2026.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Jayne.
Hello there, Michelle. I don't know about you, Michelle, but I'm looking out my window and I have blue sky and sunshine, and I've got beautiful blossoms appearing. It's very pretty today.
Isn't that a song, Blue Skies and Sunshine? I know the lyrics from something, and it's now going to bug me for the rest of the afternoon.
Sorry, I don't know. I just thought I'd comment because, we have nice weather.
Okay. Stephen Klimowska named that song in two. He'll now message me and let me know what the song is, because his encyclopedic knowledge of everything is amazing. And if anyone wants to adopt Stephen and take them on their Disney cruise with them, I am sure he will happily win every single quiz for you, so you can get the bragging rights with the medal.
So Stephen is your trivia buddy then?
Oh my word, what that boy does not know about Disney is not worth knowing. Amazing. He is absolutely fantabulous.
Cool.
Anyway, we've got a podcast, Jayne.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're here for, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'm going to take you to the 26th of April, 1916.
1916? Wow, go on then.
I know. This is contemporary painter, author, illustrator Irving Earle. And he was born on this day. And he is from New York. Right. And he was hired in October 1951, and it was originally to state and paint the backgrounds and settings for Peter Pan, Sleeping Beauty, Lady and the Tramp, and that favourite one of your husband that he keeps reminding, that little storybook circus little nod, toot, whistle and plunk. I just love saying that. And if you know the nod, you know the nod in Storybook Circus. Yeah, and he painted the dioramas for Sleeping Beauty's castle, and he went on to illustrate books. He's been quite creative with regards to magazines, publications. Oh, wow. Yeah, massive history. He was given the Disney Legend Award in 2015, and it was accepted on behalf of him, as he had then passed away, by his daughter, Christine Thompson. Oh, and in 2016, a exhibition of his oils, acrylics, watercolours and sculptures were displayed at the Forest Lawn Museum in Glendale, California.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was really nice. And, whilst we're celebrating female Imagineers, we've got to sort of put some balance into it and say, there's amazing male Imagineers that have come into our theme parks and enhanced and made it even more amazing.
It's funny actually talking about Imagineers and the fact that he was obviously made a legend. And I think we only said the other week, it's quite nice to see that you're getting legends now happening while people are still with us, rather than waiting until they've unfortunately passed. And I noticed this week that Kim Irvine, who's going to be made a legend at D23 this year, and her mum Leota Toombs are getting a window on Main Street at Disneyland.
Oh, so good. And I'll be able to see it, fingers crossed, when I go.
Yeah, very cool.
My other one is to this day in 2004. Mm-hmm. And we've all heard of Forbes. They know what they know about finances, don't they?
Money people, yeah.
Ah, yeah. Well, they listed Michael Eisner on their worst list of CEOs in America on this day in 2004.
Their worst list? Wow.
Yeah. Not a list I would ever want to be on if I was a CEO.
Not really, and I'm never going to get there because I can't ever see myself being a CEO nor earning that sort of money.
Yeah. And then I'm just hopping to 2017. So on this day in Disneyland, Johnny Depp surprised guests as he dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow at the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. These are really cool little interactions. I know we see a lot of Josh Gad going into the parks at the moment, don't we, doing his little cast member bits on I don't know. I think he's done Jungle Cruise, hasn't he? And the Storybook Canal Boats and stuff like that. So yeah, I think these are kind of cute. I like these. Should do more of them, guys.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm in quite a few Facebook groups for Disney, and every now and again, people will post a picture saying, "Is this it? Has he been back in the park again?" But no, the answer is no. Johnny Depp has not been back since that date to appear as Captain Jack.
Oh,
That we know anyway.
that we know of. That's very true, Michelle. Maybe.
This week's celebrated Imagineer is Kathy Rogers, and she was an executive show producer.
What does that mean, Michelle?
I gather she's an executive producer of shows.
What shows has she produced, Michelle?
Well, let me take you back to where she began in the Disneyland theme park. And her first job, she earned a whopping wage of $1.70 per hour, where she began at the Disneyland car parking lot.
$1.70. Wow.
I know. She began an attractions lead post, and then she got into Imagineering in Disneyland in 1983, first as a coordinator, and then she rose through the ranks, as talent normally does, to the producer level. And then her pre-retirement title was executive show producer, with shows such as Muppet Vision 3D and Expedition Everest.
Nice one. It's always nice, I think, when you hear these Imagineer stories that so often they've started out at what you would kind of probably class the lowest of the low. And obviously Disney has this great ability to foster people's talents and let them grow and move them around the company to where they are best suited.
It's my favourite story I tell people. Tony Baxter began scooping ice cream.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, you know, never be afraid to have dreams and reach for the sky to succeed.
Absolutely. It's something we've always said, you know, I remember when our kids were growing up, and I think Molly was really into her art, and we said, well, somebody has to work at Pixar, Molly. Why can't it be you? Not that it is. She's now training to be a personal trainer and she's just qualified. But, you know, there is that element, isn't it? Somebody has to draw the pictures. Somebody has to do the animatronics. Somebody has to come up with the ideas. And it's like, don't let the fact that somebody isn't you at the moment. It could be you if you want it hard enough.
Her favourite project was Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 3D, and she has a very fond memory of working with him. So that must have been incredibly memorable. She also enjoyed getting a private tour of the White House by a young Secret Service gentleman after the WDI team recorded President Obama, as of when he was President Obama, for the 2009 update to the Hall of Presidents attraction at the Magic Kingdom. And she got to see behind the scenes at the White House and had a humorous commentary presented by several of the WDI team.
See, that's a nice, cool thing that you wouldn't think that actually would happen.
Yeah.
Nice little perk of the job.
And she says her favourite attraction is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Not a bad choice.
No, it's a classic. We are in April. So what's creeping up on us?
May.
May the 4th be with you.
And with you, Michelle.
I always want to say bless you, my child, at the end of that. Maybe it's probably my attending far too many church services earlier in my life. But yes, we are going to be getting an array of yumskis in the Disney theme parks, especially for this very important celebration of all things Star Wars.
Yeah, May the 4th or May the 4th, it should be. So yeah, it's always a classic, isn't it? We have to bring out new different bits and pieces to celebrate these things. I remember years and years ago, you're saying May the 4th, you know, Happy Star Wars Day, and people would look at you. Now I think everybody knows what it means. But anyway, so shall we start Hollywood Studios just for a laugh?
It's making me laugh, is this, Jane?
Go on.
First we had blue.
Yeah.
Then we had green.
Yeah.
What's next?
Pink.
What animal or plant are they milking to get pink milk?
I don't know. It's the fact that it's a rice milk blend with sweet and fruity characteristics. You see, I'm not a big milk person anyway, so these have never appealed to me. But they just feel like they just must be full of, I was going to use a swear word, rubbish, I will say instead. Just rubbish ingredients.
Can I just say, the only thing that pink milk makes me think of is pink eye and Pepto-Bismol. And can we move on to something else?
Yeah. You can get a cooler with some rub in it though. Might make it better.
Yeah, alcoholic Pepto-Bismol is obviously better than non-alcoholic Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, and then if the colour's not your colour, you could have some of the, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, Kirkcaldian blue cake. Because, you know, we all like a bit of nice food colouring in our food, because that doesn't do anything untoward at all, does it?
Oh, great. So I'm going to have a mix of pink and blue poop for a few days then.
Purple.
Oh, actually, that actually sounds quite fun. Okay. What about food and beverage, Jane? We've done the beverage. What about munchies?
Well, say you got this Kirkcaldian blue. I should know how to pronounce it, shouldn't I? That's a vanilla shortbread cookie with ginger cream cheese icing, which does sound quite nice. They just made it a blue square with blueness all over it and icing.
Oh, critical people may turn round and say this is exactly as what you can get over at Woody's Lunchbox as those little sweet pop-tarty things.
Oh, the pop-tarty things, maybe. Yeah, maybe there needs to be a
but it's smaller.
Bit of a trial and taste thing going on. Ogres have got some new little bites. They've got some drinks, obviously, but they've got some Batu bites, which is blue corn, again with the blue corn, barbecue, curry spice chips with lotus root, green bean chips and herb dip.
Yeah.
Is that appealing to you, Michelle?
The only thing in all of this that is appealing to me, Jane, is the utterly amazing drink cup that you can get for DJ Rex.
Well, who doesn't love a bit of DJ Rex for starters? DJ Rex in anything, in my book, is, you know.
I need it. It's amazing. It's cute. It's gorgeous. It's quirky. And I want to be sipping a coffee out of it.
Not the handmade vodka and blue Curacao liqueur, then?
Shelley, no do blue food.
I say it's all blue.
You see, I think the Imagineer who's been devising all of this has recently been watching Bridget Jones's Diary and realised when she made blue soup and thought everybody likes blue soup because Bridget liked blue soup.
Maybe. Why do you think blue means that food from another planet or another universe or another galaxy has to be a weird colour?
I don't know.
Yeah. Ronto Roasters.
Go on.
They've got some Kishian spiced chips, more lotus root. So lotus root chips tossed in cinnamon sugar.
Oh.
So you've got a veggie thing tossed in cinnamon sugar.
So instead of having a churro in cinnamon sugar, you can have a vegetable. I'm liking this because it's a health food.
Is that right? A health food?
Yeah.
There's also going to be some nuts.
Because I am nuts, absolutely.
Some ethyl nuts, which is apparently sweet, spicy and queso fundido nuts with chocolate candy rocks. So
all right, I'll give it a whirl.
It looks very pretty.
Yeah.
These are all kind of for the eye, aren't they? But, you know.
Yeah. We're getting the idea that there's a lot of food and bev to celebrate and that they are zhuzhing up the menu a little bit. I gather they're doing the same over at Docking Bay 7, which I know is a favourite of yours and Simon's.
Yeah, we've always liked the Batu and beef over there. So the menu is going to be Andorian fried chicken tip yip, which I think they've always had on, haven't they? Then we've got a shack pot roast with kublag mash. So that's birria pot roast with turmeric garlic mash and roasted carrots. Sounds quite nice, actually. And there's sweet puffer pig ribs with portion bread. So pork ribs brushed with tangy barbecue sauce, served with mac and cheese and sponge cake.
Hang on a minute.
Yes.
Has Mary Berry left the Great British Bake Off to go over and work for Disney to secretly, surreptitiously put in sponge cake into everything?
I wonder if it's meant to be more like a cornbread than a sponge cake. Because the portion bread in Star Wars is this sort of like grey stuff that you kind of like add liquid to and it kind of bubbles and what have you.
Well,
So
do you know what? It could be a brand new thing to when you are having your pork ribs to have a side serving of cake. Anything that gets me extra cake, I'm sold.
yeah, maybe that is the way. That is the way. See what I did there. You can get your Dorian chicken as a salad if you fancy a salad rather than crispy chicken. So
yeah, I suppose so.
You know, but say there's lots of different sorts of alcohol beverages going on. You've got your lightsabers, churros are back again. I think we've had them in previous years, haven't we? And stuff. So yeah, there's lots of different bits and bobs out there.
Can I talk about the thing that's causing me nightmares, Jayne?
You can, Michelle. Yeah. Do we need to sit down and have a therapy session?
I think we do, because there is something that they are bringing out as a Star Wars novelty that is literally causing me that I am going to need some very expensive therapy for, because popcorn bucket,
yeah,
the Selfridge Protocol droid bucket,
yeah,
basically it looks like a S&M version of C3PO.
Yeah, well, C3PO is a protocol droid. So rather than this being C3PO's head, it's just a protocol droid's head, because if it was C3PO's, it'd be golden.
It's black and it does give me the scary bits.
Yeah, I think it's meant to be like burnished grey metal, isn't it? It's, maybe.
And then we'll brush over it very quickly. It's the stuff of nightmares. Please, please, please. I don't want that, anybody. But I don't mind having the little bantha sipper because it's so cute.
That is cute, but it's the Jabba's sail barge bucket. That looks awesome. So
I like the fact the door opens and you've got Jabba the Hutt in the middle.
And you've got C3PO and R2, and there's a little guy, and I can't think what his name is, and I'm going to get told off for not knowing what his name is. But yes, sorry, that's not Jayne not being very, very explanatory at all. But yeah, I kind of look at that.
Yeah, and just going back to the bantha sipper, can I just say the lips were obviously modelled on Mick Jagger.
It doesn't. Now you've said that, Michelle, I can't unsee it. Thanks for that.
It's my pleasure, Jayne. If you want to see the pictures, we'll be sharing them on over at our website, DisneyDreamGirls.com. Fancy a chuckle? Have a little look-see. So now we've sort of talked about what's going to be about for May the 4th. I think we need to sort of talk a little bit about what every Disney theme park fan seems to be planning at the moment is how to get to Disneyland Paris, because Frozen Land is now up, ready and running. A few glitches, but it seems to be going a lot smoother.
Right.
And we have had a lot of questions to help demystify the process of actually getting to Disneyland Paris.
Right, you are. Okay.
So we're going to present you with the best ways, because for those of you who don't know, Disneyland Paris is not in the centre of Paris.
No, it's a little. It's south of Paris, isn't it?
It is, and you cannot walk there.
No.
Unless you've got very deep pockets, you don't want to be taxiing there.
No, because it's quite a distance.
It is a distance, and if you're not like me and mad enough to drive there and you're flying into Disneyland Paris, I'm going to go through some of the options and we will discuss whether we've tried them or not, give our opinion on them, and hopefully it'll help demystify things for you so that you can choose the best for your personal situation.
Right, crack on then. What we got?
If you're landing at Charles de Gaulle, which is the airport that serves Paris, you are very, very lucky, because the TGV is so easy to access from the airport.
Yeah, this is France's train system, isn't it?
It is indeed. And it is an incredibly fast train, hence TGV. Was it très grande vite, meaning very fast, basically?
That sounds a very good one, Shell. I will go with that. That sounds plausible.
Okay. literally, it takes you from the Terminal 2 at the airport immediately to Disneyland, and you then will have a short walk or further transportation onto the hotel of your choice. It's literally, if you time it right, 10 minutes. Now, you need to book it, in advance a little bit for this, because you can get it as cheap as €17.
Wow, yeah.
However, I once made the mistake of booking it without enough transfer time from getting from Terminal 2 to actually getting to the station at Terminal 2. And I ended up paying just over €130 for myself and Kieran to get our tickets.
Wow, it's a big jump.
So make sure you give yourself enough transfer time, but book in advance to save the money. And it's a fantastic way. You get off the train at Marne Valley, and it's great. You book it in advance via SNCF website. And if you're not sure how to sort of get around, go there. They'll tell you everything. Now, have you done that option before with the train?
I don't think I have. No, I have used the train because the Eurostar used to go direct into Marne-la-Vallée. So getting the Eurostar into France from the UK proved to be a really good option in years gone by. You can still do that, but you have to get a change. You have to take the Eurostar to Lille and then pick up French rail from Lille to Marne-la-Vallée. The great thing is, as Shell just said, once you get off at Marne-la-Vallée, you are there. You're at Disneyland Paris. You know, you're within a short walking distance of the two parks. And if you're staying in a Disney hotel, the most you're going to walk, if you're going to like Santa Fe, is probably about 25 minutes, something like that. It's all very doable. Very, very doable. Very easy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can also use the transportation to the hotels, because the bus station is literally
just around the corner.
You come out of the train station and it's there.
Yeah.
And the thing I love about these trains is they're quite frequent, and they're two-story trains.
Yeah.
And the novelty value is so cool. And you can also get reserved seating, so you know where you're going to sit. And obviously you don't want to be on the upper deck, because if you're on the upper deck, you've got to go up there with your suitcases.
Very good point. But the train system is really good. So, we did it many, many, many years ago, where on one of our days during our stay, we actually took the train into Paris itself as well. So that's another option for you with the train being there. You can take maybe time out and go and explore Paris itself.
Another way I've done it before when I've flown into Paris is to take the magical shuttle. And if you have luggage, it's absolutely fantastic, because you get straight to your hotel lobby. The downside is it's on the roads, and it can take up to an hour, depending on which order that they're going to be dropping people off at. Yeah. And the traffic. It's €24 at the moment for adults and $11 for children. It runs about every 45 minutes from Terminal 1 and Terminal 2E and stroke 2F. So I think that's really good. And it will also drop you off at the Chessy bus station, which means then you can get onward transportation if you're not staying in a Disneyland hotel as well.
Yeah, and that's the option I've used a couple of times. You're on public transport, effectively you're on a bus, so it will take as long as it's going to take, depending on if you happen to get to the correct bus station at the airport at the right time, because that's always going to be a factor, isn't it? And then it just depends what the roads are like, what the traffic's like, and like you say, Michelle, where you fall within that departure gate of which hotels and which order they're going to do the bus route in. But it's your travel day, so as long as you factor that in and don't think that once you land it's 10 minutes and you're in the park, that's not going to happen. So just be mindful with your expectations.
And that to me works really, really well if it's just a couple of you going, because of the price point. If you are travelling in a party of 3 or above, then the option of a private transfer is probably your best bet. Whilst it can take a little bit less than the Magical Express, round about 40 minutes to 60, again, dependent on the traffic, you don't have to go around all the resorts.
Yeah.
The cost can be around about 75 to 95 euro, but I've known to go through booking.com and get it as low as 60 euro.
Okay, so there's different ways you can do that then.
Yeah, and it will take you straight to your hotel, whether it be a Disney hotel or whether you're going to off-site hotel or an Airbnb.
Yeah.
So I think that's really useful for you. And you can always, as part of this option, utilize the option to pick up a Uber or the equivalent.
Yeah. There's plenty of ways to do it. I think it's just being mindful, isn't it, that just because you're flying into Paris, you're not going to be maybe as close as what you think you would be to Disneyland Paris, because it's obviously, it needs some space, so it's not in the city.
Yeah. The worst option, and I've done this once and I will never do it again, is to take the regional RER train, because it's budget, it's slow, and oh my word, it takes forever. You go into central Paris and then you go out again. You have to go the RER-B, then you go to the RER-A to Marne-la-Vallée or Chessy. It can take 90 minutes. It's 18 euro. I would suggest go on the Magical Express every single time. It's much, much cheaper. The Magical Shuttle will save you time and money. So let us know, how do you plan to travel to Disneyland Paris if you are not in a car? There's a lot of options for you. But the good thing is, if you are staying, for example, at a Disneyland hotel, I've done this myself. I go straight to the resort, check my bags, leave them, get all my bits of tickets and whatever, and go into the park. And then they'll notify via the app when your room is ready. And you can go back whenever you like to pick your cases and sort your room out.
Yeah, I think we did that, didn't we, when you and I travelled over there together?
Yeah.
We were, we'd left our regional airport over here, and that same, probably by lunchtime, early afternoon, we were in the park, weren't we?
Yeah. So it is quite stress-free to get from Paris to Disneyland. And the beauty is because the train station is where it is, as you come out of the train station via the lift or the escalator or the stairs, there's a little small shopping concourse. So if you want to pick up a croissant and some fresh orange juice, you can do, last minute souvenir or something you need for the room. The prices are quite reasonable there.
Yeah.
And you come out, there's the Disney transportation to one side, then ahead of you there's the Disney Village, Adventure World or Disneyland Paris, and it's so easy. And if you're staying somewhere like Sequoia Lodge, or you're staying at a Hotel Marvel or Newport Bay, they are all around that lake and you can get there quite quickly by walking.
Yeah.
Obviously, always make sure you've got a suitcase with wheels, godsend.
Yeah, and you kind of come out, don't you? You do your security as you leave that railway station type area. And once you go through that, jobs are good, aren't you? You're then free to go into the parks. You're free to find your hotel, whatever it is that suits the timing of your day when you get there.
I will add one thing that did surprise me the first time I went to Disneyland Paris is that your security checkpoint at the hotel will insist you put your luggage through a X-ray machine like you would do at the airport. Your luggage goes through that and you go through the normal checking that you would do at the airport personally yourself. And that, for me, the first time I went through that was I wasn't aware of that. And again, when you're going into the Disney Village, so you can get access to the theme parks, anything in your carry-on goes through this as well. So they are really on top of what you are taking into the park is suitable,
Yeah.
and it's a real peace of mind safety, that it is so thorough. And if you've only had experience of going to American Disney parks, this might come as a bit of a jarring and
Yeah.
unusual thing. And the fact that the police officers are walking around with rifles and dogs, that is there for your security.
Yeah, it's like you say, it can be a little bit, take you aback a little bit if you're not expecting it. But it's all very straightforward and very easy, and just like going through security at an airport. In fact, well, it's quicker because you're not having to like separate anything out. It's you put your bag on one side, you walk through the archway, and that's it. And like you say, Michelle, at least you know then that everybody going through has been properly scanned. It's not just oh, you look a bit shifty. We'll have a pat down with you. Everybody has to do exactly the same.
Completely agree, 100% with you on that one, Jayne. And let us know, are you planning a trip to Disneyland Paris? Would you like us to do a little bit more Disneyland Paris content? As listeners to the show will know, I've got a trip coming up with the wonderful Caroline and my grandson Joseph at the end of May. We are very, very excited. We are at planning outfit stage and talking about how we are going to manage travelling by car to Disneyland Paris, because another thing that they do when you drive to Disneyland Paris, they will scrutinise your vehicle at the Disneyland hotels with one of those, when you go to the dentist and they use one of those mirrors that look for your cavities. Well, they have like another one that they put around your car to make sure there isn't anything underneath your car. And they will look in your boot, your trunk, sorry, American language as well. So there is that extra layer of security that we just want to make you aware of. So yeah, if you've got any questions about travelling, I think between us, we've done every way, haven't we?
Probably, yeah.
Let us know. And we are very excited about bringing some Disneyland Paris content to you. And we are just so excited that we've got these trips coming up where we're both doing a cruise. We're both going to Walt Disney World. It's going to be a year of magnificent Disneyness.
As it always should be.
Your life is so much better with Disney in it.
Absolutely.
So if you want to get more free things about the podcast, additional shows, chats with Jayne and I, things like that, hang fire, go over to patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls. And even on this show, our Patreon supporters are getting an extended version, and we do those little bonus things for them. So why not consider joining us? But until next time, it's a goodbye from me.
And bye from me.